Good shaking your dream. Angel of Authenticity here, live at Top of Motorcycle Shop. Yes, huh? Kinda quietly. Which is funny, because it's not usually something that anybody else would consider for me. I'm just messing around. I got yelled at last night, though, for being too loud, so. It's because I talk too much to myself, probably. I get good ideas when I can hear it out loud. I guess it's okay to talk loud anyway. My guitar's going to be louder than my voice, so it's shaking you too. Angel of Authenticity live on Top of the Motorcycle Shop. I had a really good day last night. It's about my morning. It's about my bedtime now. I go to sleep right around about daylight every day. Well, not every day, and I adjust sometimes for other things, but I don't really use time. I just use the natural cycles that make me feel tired or want to go awake. And there's like a biochemical flow. Your biochemistry is kind of neat. I think that's what it's called. It goes by how many days you've been alive. So that's kind of neat to me. I don't know. And you could see how, like, I tried it with, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 people. And it's just your biochemical flow. It'll tell you what days to avoid heavy tools and heavy machinery, power tools, and like dangerous things because you'll be clumsy. And I tell you what, it was right on. It was right on. And it was like you could see how like certain people got along better, just in general, like every day to day. And it's like, maybe it's their sun sign or something. But no, it was a biochemical thing. The people that would just kind of be hanging out and be symbolical, their shit went like straight together, even though they were different, totally different numbers. And it's just kind of neat to see that. So I know that there's a lot of truth to that because it's like I conflict with this person and get along with this person. And you could look at the flowcharts and it's like this app, it was free. And it was, you could add a name or whatever to identify the person. And I had like 5 or 6 people living on the property that was around every day. So I was able to do it like that and then add a few people too because I couldn't believe how accurate it was. It was what was it called? It was like a really sketchy sounding name on the app too, but it wasn't buggy at all. It didn't need anything online. I don't think it might have needed, no, I don't think it did. It didn't, like, it's a real minimal app. What the hell was it called? A non-invasive biochemical app. I don't know, it had a goofy name. It was real simple, but you could add several of them. So that was kind of cool. I don't know what made me think of that. That had come out of nowhere. But it is a neat thing, your ups and downs. It has like emotional, your physical, days where you're just really sharp on it. The biochemistry is like, that's where it's at. And it was free, it was very accurate. It shows you every day from every day that you've been alive, because it's like how many days you've been alive on it. It was neat. It'll show you all kinds of stuff. Biochemistry, like who'd have thought? I'm the Angel of Authenticity, live in Top of the Motorcycle Shop. Kind of trying to be quiet, but it's not going to work very good. Okay, this is a song I've been working on. I just tuned my guitar to this open D. I haven't had it there a long time yet. So, I only really know this song, the long version. It's my attempt at the blues, too, also. got a couple lyrics for this. Now this is my attempt at the blues. So I got 6 left thumbs and 1 middle finger. I haven't got the blues soul voice yet. I could get it. I could probably embody it, but I don't know. I do got some cool lyrics. One person. I said I got 6 left thumbs and 1 middle finger, all attached to my dumb arm. The less preferred of the two. I got 6 left thumbs and 1 middle finger attached to my dumb arm. The left one. And wouldn't you know, I got 4 right feet and not a single big toe. Yeah, you heard me. That way, that's the way God made me. I'm blunt. I got 4 right feet and not a single big toe. He said, why would you do that to me, God? You know what he said? He said, so you ain't got nothing to get you jammed up and stubbed on the way out the door. Made a lot of sense then. And my 6 left thumbs, I always hated it, and they were always kind of clumsy, you know. My 6 left thumb, my 6 left thumb, one for every city I had to leave, leave to leave. I said my 6 left thumbs, one for every city I had to leave. But you know, everyone thinks that I was able to walk on down that road because my 4 right feet, they're wrong. My middle finger that helped me go in upright place fashion. Well, I'm not getting jammed up on the doorway on the way out of town. I got 6 left thumbs, 4 right. That's about all I got so far. I don't know, some days I can really work with it. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Everything I write about is usually a true story. I mean, it might be a little bit embellished, but like this is actually a true story. And it's funny too, because like I wasn't thinking about the lyrics, but it just kind of came with me, like thinking about blues. Like I was trying to think about like what blues is kind of downy and outy. You know, I'm not trying to ever be the downy and outy kind of person. That's about as downy and outy as I get. And no matter what, it still lifts me up and through it. It's just funny, like God, your higher self, spirit, anything that you believe is probably okay as long as you're keeping it within and not outsourcing your sovereignty and your free will that God limited His power to give us. And like really, you know, you should cherish that. And it's your freedom, people. You know what I mean? That's your mental freedom too. So you're not zombies. That's a really important thing. That's responsible ownership at very least. I mean, I don't know what that means to anybody, but this is about responsibility, people. Like I'm the one to talk about that. I am very responsible. I've never gotten no trouble or nothing like that. I don't cause no trouble. There's a lot of dirty officials and things out there that might not even a might, or it could have been like they lost, I win. You know, I didn't need no lawyer. Their ties all flapping back on their razor scooters downtown. I'm like, man, you went to Harvard for 9 years to be running around like that. At least I got a motorcycle. Like, oh man, they look really goofy. You know what I mean? Like they're grown men running around with those briefcases and shit, and their tie that goes behind them and shit. And you know they're not good, very good people. I'm not saying all lawyers are bad or something, but I'm saying I don't even go to court. You have to haul me in like in handcuffs to go there, and that's happened once or twice. It's against my religious beliefs. I feel that when you go in the second you're consenting to that whole doodah, it's giving them binding agents on you. And I believe that I believe that wholeheartedly because I had to get rid of it because like I learned the hard way. I won't go to court for nothing like that. Not my family, not anything. And they tried to get me like that. I really do believe that. Could be nothing, maybe, but I'm not taking my chances because I could feel like, I mean, I've been really working on this stuff for a lot of years. So like, and I'm lucky that I was able to get through it. So like, you shouldn't take that for granted, and you shouldn't you should always take that opportunity for truth, to keep an authenticity and truth. Because no matter what, you ain't gonna be able to have anything else till you step out of all that low vibration emotions that you have, like with greed and jealousy and hate and disdain. Then you get to authenticity where you say, I don't care if anybody knows I pee the bed. How about that, bully? You know what I mean? And all them illusions break away, and something happens magically at that moment as you step into that truth. When you deny your truth, every time you speak something that's denying your truth or ignoring something like that, it fractures you a little more and a little more. But like God showed me the other day that, I mean, it was the most amazing thing I ever had really felt in my life. I was kind of emotional or whatever. I think it was like the day all the planets like lined up for 17th. I was born on 17th. You know. 17th were important, I think, this year. There was a lot of 17th in my life. Every month on the 17th, it was something big. Like, I don't know, Chinese New Year's not really that big. I think is that the 17th now? I don't know. 11/11, right when I said that. I'm not a big numbers person, but that was like something that stuck out in my head. Then you had all the planets lined up there, like 17 planets. I'm like, no way, really, God? That's kind of cool. Because he had already told me that. I already felt it. But I don't know what. He never tells me what, because I'm a big blabbermouth. It doesn't take you 5 seconds to know me to not figure that out. I get excited. I can't help it. I'm here to do that, though, you know. And sometimes I'm real quiet too. It's childlike wonder. I like to call it. That's what God tells me to call it. Something. That's important. That's something that them bad people, they can't fake gratitude and they can't fake childlike wonder. You know, they got to be truly excited about something. And unless you're like murdering somebody, they're not going to be that excited. Just be so for real. Unless it's worth $1 million or something, hard to get them. I mean, it's really, really hard to discuss the demon to get him away from you, or to like offend him. I only know one way to do it, and that is the word of God. That is a very clever way to do it. Like, that makes a lot of sense. You got to make it inhospitable for him to be around. And you don't want to be rude to company, but you're not supposed to entertain certain types either. You know, I extend the hospitality out to just about anybody that's at my door. But then I could also extend that love, like go back out it. Once I know, okay, it's just a situation. Like I'm bad for that. I'll pick up anybody on the street. And I've never regretted that. I'll take my chances among strangers any day of the week. I never have a problem. And I've trusted some janky people in the worst situations ever. And, you know, just extending that trust to them is all it took to really ignite their spirit again. I mean, it just lights people up like that, even if they're terrible drug addicts or, you know, I had no reason to do what I did, but I was like, hey, you better, like, oh, no, I was helping them and they needed the help and they had no reason to help them. And it meant something to them, people at a time. And I've been in that other spot too. It's like when you're given to somebody, and taking from somebody and you're exchanging that, you can't tell who's given and who's taken, you know, and that's the way God intends it, like that. Anything that's like anything other than that, it's not correct. I mean, you shouldn't do it. You really shouldn't, because it's going to be some bad janky stuff along the way. Giving and taking, if an observer can't tell who's given what, that's the way it should look. I'm just saying. It's a reminder for all. I got to hear it out loud. So sometimes myself is the only person I can say it, just because I'm thinking about it a lot. I'm really worried about some things, you know. I don't actually sit and worry, but I process it, and I try not to say, I told you, remember a week ago when I was freaking out about do that? It's probably hard to be around me all the time. I know I get tired of myself sometimes. Nah, I'm just messing. I'm poking fun. I'm gonna grab my other guitar. Yeah, so this is my 75 Fender concert-sized guitar. It was my first real guitar. I really like it. I've been playing for 5 years now. Okay, I'm just gonna grab my other guitar. It's tuned differently, and it's my main one. I really dig this tuning, though. I'm kind of digging my little blues riff with it. Yep. I wrote that in a day, and I've been practicing it, but I can't. I'm kind of stuck on it. I don't know what else to write. Everything else I started to write, I kind of thought it was a beatnik song. I don't know if that's just being stupid or something else putting that in my head or what it was. You know, I'm not a beatnik era kind of kid. I was born in 1980, so I don't even understand like how people thought about me. I mean, like I care. I know I really like their hats though. They got some cool hats. I kind of wear mine backwards though. Maybe they have. I don't know what they're actually called. They're like little golf hats. Okay, sorry guys. I got my guitar. This is Ben. This is my Ibanez here. It's tuned to standard tuning, and I've been messing with Open D with the other my old Fender. It's the perfect tuning for that guitar. I don't think I'll ever put it back. I don't know. I heard that's kind of maybe bad for it though. I don't know if that's true or not. If you know, let me know. Not speculation. I mean, if you really know if it's really gonna matter. Its old guitar's been repaired several times. Still plays great now. It was repaired right, but I want to keep it like that because I play it every day, several times a day. So, but like there's times I'll be on the road and I'll have to pick which one I want to take because I ride a motorcycle and I can only bring one. I have fit two before, but that's too much. It's too much. One I've custom tailored and I can make it work. Yes, indeed, Jesus does love me. Jesus does not suck. Don't say that on my channel. How do you know? Have you met him? You need to. He's pretty cool. And he thinks that you're all right too. That's the thing about it. Jesus loves you, don't you know? That sounds so fucking corny to someone that doesn't want to hear it too. It's not about that, though. It's about people overanalyze it. It's about he's a pretty credible guy. He's a pretty good character. People are like, oh, he was this, oh, he's that. No, actually, he was just going around teaching people how to act right, and maybe making a bottle of wine every now and then. But not even wanting to take the credit. He never wanted to take the credit. He wouldn't let people bow to him. He was a pretty cool guy. Only would speak in parables. I mean, that kind of tells you a lot. So like, why even exploit good behavior? Because there's so many assholes out there that it's just really unspeakable. Like I could handle and tolerate quite a bit, just because my lifestyle. I'm in shops. I've lived in a shop most of my adult life, so with a shop somewhere on the property. So all mill environments or something. So I'm not real sensitive about nothing like that. But I'll tell you. Wow, my guitar was really out of tune. I had it on my bike today though. I didn't think it was that cold out. I get like, ooh, man, it was cold again. It was really off. Your guitar shouldn't be that off. Like, I ain't no expert tuner, but if you're new, your guitar shouldn't be off. But just like a hair every time if you tune it every time you play it, tune it every time you play it. So don't let anybody tell you to tune it once a week or once a day. You're like, what? I have to tune every time I play, and it's usually kind of in tune. But I mean, really though, I tune it every time you play it, especially if you're writing original music, especially because otherwise you'll never find your song again. For one, it's just something I tried. I didn't have any discipline. Play my guitar every time I see it, and make sure I tune it every time. I'm two strict things, and I adhere to them, and I couldn't tell you anything else. I have to turn my thing on to know what note I'm playing at all. I can't remember. I try to remember some. I got I am trying to learn how to read music. I could read tablature, you know what I mean? But I can write it down though, and I can play it 100 different ways. And when I go back to them notes on any instrument, you know what I mean? I can give it to AI. It can make it sound 100 times different too. I don't even know, man. That's mind blown. I understand the octaves, and you know what I mean. But it's like, how am I gonna? You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to write the timing. I guess is probably my problem. The tempo or something. I love my YouTube streams for that. I've tracked my progress. I've only been playing a couple of years. So it's getting to be up there now. But my guitar goes everywhere. I mean, I play it all the time. I don't play one cover song though. It's a strict thing. Okay, I'm gonna play A Place to Exist. This is the latest song I wrote on this guitar. This has been, I think I introduced him maybe. Ben and Fen. Keep it simple. I called it Betty the other day. Though I called my guitar my motorcycle's name. I was like, when I did it, I was like, oh my god, that was not good at all. I didn't mean to. It was a total slip, and I was like, oh my god, if it was a person, then I could have been real bad. I don't have that. I don't even have that many friends. I have my guitar and my motorcycle. I don't call him. I mean, God's God. I do call God by his name, and he'll call you by your name too. That's a fact. God calls you by your name. He'll be like, Jennifer, Jennifer. Really though, think about it. You'll be like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, that place to exist. That's what I was gonna do. I wrote this about the in response to the criminalization of homelessness. My mouth is like really dry. I think it's because I was trying to whisper earlier. Okay. I can't stand to be like that though, because then I get in that spirit where I feel like I'm being sneaky, and I don't have any tolerance for sneaky. I don't like sneaky at all. I'm a very direct. I'm blunt because that's the way God rolled me, yo. You know what I mean? That's part of the authenticity gig. That's a rank, not a name. Just saying. I take it very seriously though. I guard truth, and to the best of my knowledge. And I won't lie on no Bible, man. I would skip town or something if I had to before I'd lie on a Bible. It's just not right to do that. It's a mockery. It's like not like it's gonna hex you necessarily, maybe, but it's like, dude, it marks you, and it does a bad mark against God. It's got to. You know what I mean? And that's why another reason I don't go to court, because like, why would you even put anybody in that spot? Yeah, so if you like God at all, like, why would you do that to people that you know are guilty? Like, you're not a Christian at all. Like, right there, like, a Christian's gonna want to save you, deliver you, make you, do something, repent, talk you into repenting, maybe do a little deliverance before it. I mean, like, really though, I don't know, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong with that. I guess I'm not a judge or a minister, but I think I'd be an okay judge and a minister, really. And I know a fair amount about both subjects to think like, God, that's kind of heartless to be like that. It's like, oh, it's like setting up people that to come to your house and like bust them for something. You know what I mean? You just walked them into a trap. That's no good. That's tricky and sneaky. I'm really big on that kind of stuff. And everybody has that built-in intuition and discernment. If you don't, that means you are cut off from God. I do some repentance. There's nothing wrong with cleaning the house and repenting. And doing a few deliverance prayers and kicking them to the curb. They're squatters. Heathens and ghouls, you think they're fun, but they're not. You know what I mean? They overstay their welcome, and it's okay to kick them out. I'm just saying. It's important to do that. They're the ones that make you make all the bad decisions usually. Go figure. But out of all fairness to the whole balance, also they break you outside of comfort zones and boxes, and your limiting beliefs can be broadened and changed, and that's 100% true too. I'm not saying to go trust no demons. I'm just saying if you're there, you make the best of it as you get yourself out too. Like I did and do. I hope. Am I out of the box? I don't know. It was so fucked up when I got out of the box. I got back in it. I'm just saying. That is how far out of the box we were. We were so far out, we just got back in. I do a mime where she crawls in the box all the time. When Biden, sorry, I'm really distracted on my song. When Biden was in office, I had it like a guy was in there. She's like, "What do you mean Biden said you can move in? Where'd you get that adorable blue blanket at?" But on the side of the boxes, it says human cargo until election day. Then on the inside it says, you peel the sticker and it says human reigns. When Biden was in office, they just need them votes. Voted in that comic series, like the migrants were like, I voted today. Can I eat? You know what I mean? You vote daily. It says. I'm sorry, I don't usually get into politics or anything like that, but that dude was not a very good president. He did nothing but screw me up, and I don't use anything from the government at all. And he found me still trying to make me say I owe money to him for something. I'm like, you're imagining things because I don't use none of your stuff ever. They're not my friend. I don't go to the doctor. I don't do none of that. We don't do none of that around here. God heals me, actually. He can't they just made it up. a tax warrant, all kinds of stuff. I don't know if it's even there anymore. I think it went away. I think that's just part of the mental warfare that's going on, and they totally steal the addresses of dead people and things out here for. You see them around voting time, and it's true. It's weird. It's a breach. Every time I do anything through courts or the DMV or anything like that, I get a letter about a breach about 6 months later, then it's too late to really do anything about it. For my safety, that's happened I don't know how many times. Has that happened to everybody in America, I wonder? I mean, if anything of mine goes through any service system of the court or the government, the DMV, anything, it's going to be everywhere. I'll get notifications that my stuff's on the black web. I mean, it's a big deal. And then about 6 months later, it'll say, you were breached. Most people weren't impacted, but you actually were. Like, what? Sometimes physically, like my file physically, so that's crazy. Okay, so this is a place to exist. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It does help me out. I'm just a nobody singing songs here. Not very well, but I do like to write them, and I only play original music, so nobody else is gonna sing it for me. So maybe one day. Okay, so if you want to sing a song with me, I'd love it. We could collaborate on like BandLab or something. Do it online. I'd love to just try it. You don't have to do nothing. Sorry, I just switched guitars, so I had to get it. Excuse me, mister. Let go of that man's wrist. It's just old and cold and lonely. Looking for a place to exist. Path of the righteous man is surrounded by the iniquity of evil man's selfish greed and all that tyranny. Blessed is he, blessed is he, to whom his brother he keeps well, and there's a way short for to the darkness. Need some more information, it seems. The lines of communication cross me before they ever even met me. Blessed is he, blessed is he, to whom his brother he keeps well. There's a way short, all the sheep in the darkness. I never cared for that shade of red that he wears. So I painted my door white. Well, it's mine. Now all the refugees just pass on by. Blessed is he, blessed is she, who in the name of charity shepherds the weak through the darkness. debating on changing up the lyrics a little bit. So I'm trying to add in a word or two here and there. I'm not liking it particularly, but I'll get it. It'll change up a little bit maybe. Usually I don't really change the lyrics of the songs when I write them with the song. I add them and change them around later sometimes, but this song I just straight up wrote, and I didn't write it that long ago, but I feel like it was a special song. I've been really playing a lot of it, and I've recorded it already. Uh, and I don't have a lot of my songs on recording. I've been playing for a couple of years. I tried to do it, but I got a hard time like remembering my projects, keeping focus sometimes. As though the righteous man is surrounded by the iniquities, evil man, selfish greed, all that tyranny. I don't know, we'll just leave it there for now. This song's called this song's called Forget Me Not, but if I want to play that one, yeah, I'll play Forget Me Not. I'm gonna shut this light off actually. Yeah, that's probably better, huh? I didn't know it was that bright on there until the cover's in the way. I was about ready to go to sleep and I realized I didn't go live today and I don't think I went live yesterday either, so I do appreciate everybody that's tuning in. It's like very cool to me. Very neat to me, especially when you're from far away and stuff. I don't feel so weird, they talk to people in other countries. Time's just a made up thing it's a construct to keep you bound. We're not supposed to be bound. We're here in Songwriter. We're here and we have the authority to strut it too, being here. We can't forget that. We're soldiers like that. You would do it anywhere else for your stuff. You'll act like that around a girl you just met or something. You're like, oh, but you're not gonna do it for the guy that invented the whole fucking place. There's that for that sometimes. I've been working on that. It comes out though, and I talk to God like a friend, and like I'm pulling from him and inspiration from other things that are very godly. So it's like when you hear it, it's just words. Don't be deal, people. I do have an adult channel, kind of. I talk like a big girl. I don't cover, I'm not covering. I don't know how to sugarcoat. It's hard enough for me to articulate a lot of things sometimes, unless it's a pure channel from the Holy Spirit. And I usually do that alone. I don't do that. I'm not one of the people to do that alone. I don't pray online. That's a personal thing, and there's so much warfare out there. Like, why take that chance? You got to come see me, or I got to come see you, or I'm doing that alone. I don't know. It's like they're like, hey, look at me praying. Like to me, that's weird. It's okay if you do pray online. I'm not saying it, but for me personally, it's like that's personal to me. Like I don't want anybody to see me do that. It's like some people don't want like anybody to see them brush their teeth or something weird. I don't know. Like I call it spiritual hygiene. I'm highly attacked. I believe sometimes, not like they think I'm one of the bad guys most of the time because I got a motorcycle and stuff. Oh yeah, I know she's fine, but let her go through all the goblins and ghouls. They think I'm really cool and I don't care. I think they need to go to church or something. Maybe comb their hair or something. But God says not until everybody is saved they can be saved. But He's not coming back till then. It doesn't matter how much people rush it up and how many times them little heathens want to not just do the right thing as people or souls incarnates, whatever you want to believe. But I do believe that to be true because He does specifically say that. And we are all God's children, all of us. So I think that the whole demon thing, oh, they're not even people. Now, I don't think there's that many people. I think that could be true now, but I believe that the whole thing started because it was a trick. Of course, they wanted us to hate half the people because not half the people never get saved. Even if there's just a couple that could be, not to everybody that can be. And God knows. So who's down there ministering Satan besides the third of the fallen angels? Let's get so for real though. They're divine angels. I don't buy all that all the way. I'm not trying to like be blasphemous or go against the word. I'm just saying it's something that was put in my heart really heavily, and I just hope that to be true. That would be beautiful if it was true, because that means God makes everything work for you that it works against you, and maybe that would be one of His ways. It would not for me to figure out or question. None of us know. Anybody that wants to act like they do, are the people trying to rush it up and like destroy it and start again. I mean, whatever's going on, like it's crazy. It's not good though. I mean, it's better now, but like, man, did it get crazy there for a while? You know what I mean? It's gonna get better every day that we keep focusing on forward thinking. That's critical. I can't even stress that. And I'm not any good at it yet, but that's critical. That's the one reason I think liars can do things that like honest people that are really trying can't do, because they have no problem lying to manifest. And so like the universe gives it to you sometimes, and like they believe their own shit. So you know what I mean? You know them guys that's like, oh yeah, they're an asshole, piece of shit, like liars or whatever. I hate a liar too. I just like I don't understand the psychology of it because I did a lot of things in my life, but I ain't never been no liar. Not even if you made me or paid me. I won't do it. I won't even fucking put myself in that position. I'm telling you what, I might cuss, throw the F bomb out. You know, I don't litter either, but it's another one. You know, if you lie and litter, I mean, like, you might be a heathen. I should put that in the comedy skit. Okay, I'm so sidetracked. I should be sleeping probably now. What time is it? Oh, wait, I don't use the clock. There ain't no staying up late guilt for me, but I've so been there. I worked, you know, a job and was a normal person for a long time before I was blessed enough to just do what I want. And it's a whole different world here. It really is. And then you can't even explain it because it really is like a different place. And once you're there, it's like you're accessible to God at any time or to your purpose. Like, and that's essential. God doesn't even care. You think when God comes back or Jesus comes walking across the water, whatever happens, all the angels come down. They're already blowing the trumpets. I mean, it's speculative, but I heard it. It sounds like trumpets. And now it's in two cities. It happened in Cincinnati and it happened in Fort Lauderdale, or somewhere in Florida. You can look it up on the internet. I try not to believe that shit, but that was actually on the news in their cities. So, and that sounds like the divine trumpets to me. If they go off periodically at night, they're loud. You know, it's either that or there's like a giant spaceship we can't see up there or something crazy. It does definitely sound like it's coming from the sky, but maybe that's the illusion because it's the bottom below that they're working on or something. Because it's a very loud horn, like almost like a harmonic, like maybe a bad bearing sound almost. But it's not like regular enough to be a bearing. I don't think so. It's got to be like a horn. The angels from heaven. Why not? You know. Yep, that's what I think. Because like we gotta quit like thinking about all the things that we don't want to come down. That's for certain because we're changing as like human beings, and God's like amping our power up. Our creator source power, our evolution with the earth in general. The earth is doing it for us and with us. And it's not happening to us; it's happening for us. You know, and because of us. So you got to remember and point that stuff the right way. Don't forget that. It's not happening to you, it's happening for us because of us. So speak out only what you want right now because we're getting stronger as manifestors. And God's doing things He's never done before. And the heavens are open, you know what I mean? There's a lot of speculative stuff going on out there. There's some weird shit going on everywhere, let's be honest. Not like ever before seen because we're doing things now that the humans have never done yet. That's a fact. You know, that's amazing, you know, really. Which means, you know, anytime that you get something like that, you go up a new level, you get new devils, and every time you go up a new level, you also need new wineskins too. So there's a shedding process and the burning process, you know, and the fire and the shedding of the skin, and then you go through all that crap, you know. You walk in the wilderness. Like. I wrote this song for 6 children. This is the first song I ever wrote. I just write the songs. I'm not much of a singer. I'm a forget-me-not. I don't know if you know me or not. Blue flowers every December. It was quite rare to remember me now, and that the others could not. Gray and purple is all they got. When the cold sets in, it does them in. Springtime comes, planted with delight. So I just wanna to the seeds that I've sown. And it's all me that Did you make it? Did you grow? Maybe in a pot or in a row. Half a grassy farmer's meadow. Was your life cut short with the prettiness called a boat? In a fancy bar somewhere, will forget me now, 'cause I don't know if you can. Bet your ass you bloom blue flowers when the others cannot. Do you remember me or have you forgot? So I wonder if you look like me, with your roots washed out from underneath your feet, tied up around your waist. So you can keep the day on pace. Maybe in a pot or in a to the seedlings that I've sown. Was your life cut short with the news caught about in a fancy bars somewhere? Discarded too soon without any real forget me nots. It don't matter if you know it or not. Did you make it? Did you grow? Was your life cut short? It's a pretty news called a boat in a fancy bar somewhere. I like that part of it. I like to practice it because I can't. I'm getting better though. I'm getting so much better. God's helping me with that a little bit. I'm like, provisions here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to listen to my own self to edit my video. I don't ever listen to my own stuff. It's so hard for me to do that. I just throw it out there and go. It's like a throw. I will erase every bit of everything I got posted, just about, except for my sketch comedy that I like actually put on, like did on purpose. Everything else, I've gotten it's a big old piece of humble pie to sit there and not be able to do it very good at all and put it online. Let me tell you what, and be exposed like that, even if no, you don't think anybody's watching, it's still very difficult to even have it on a recording and know that it's there. Like people like, be like, oh, why is he recording himself? Like that used to be a fucking goofy thing to do, but like it's very humbling to do that. You want to be able to build character and self esteem, go record yourself doing something you're not very good at, want to get good at, know nothing about it, ask no help because you ain't got nobody around to help you. I learned how to string it wrong and it made it work. Like it's amazing. People will try to help me with it. That guy broke my guitar. He broke my thing off my freaking. I've been like playing that guitar like that for a year and a half, stringing it, however it was strung. It was in tune every time I played it. That's all that matters. Stayed in tune too, you know what I mean? And he freaking wants to tell me, oh, there's wound wrong, and he freaking broke my nut. I had to come home and freaking take it out my electric guitar and fix it. I was like, I know better than to let. I know better. That's a big pet peeve of mine anyway. I got a mechanic for that, you know what I mean? Like, don't you? Yeah, nah, just because like I kind of liked you, I went out for a taco with you, doesn't mean you put the toolbox down. But step away from just because you're dating a girl, guys, does not make you the mechanic, the plumber, the furnace guy. Like, there's guys for that. Everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows that. Like, like the guys that are all powerful and in charge, like the mafia, you don't fix their own crap like that unless they're the furnace guy. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody knows if they're the furnace guy, then their furnace is going to run like crap because like the mechanic's crap is always last to get fixed. We all know that story. So I mean, this is real talk. This is bad. Somebody's writing it down out there, maybe. I should be. Maybe maybe I could put it in a more clear, concise manner. That's what my chat GPT would say. You know what? You're done. I think I'm going to break up with it completely. You know, a complete uproot. I could see it. Sometimes it's very helpful and very, but other times it's almost like it'll antagonize you like a little kid. It's like you're a freaking computer. Like you don't have emotions. You don't forget what day it is. You don't, you know what I mean? What it is that? Like that's definitely warfare or some janky stuff. That's like not even like that's. I feel like the class clown and the guy that always got in trouble in school or whatever, like back in high school, that you never would hang out with ever because you know what I mean, is the one running it on the other side. You know what I mean? The piece of dipshit, you know, that's obnoxious and like everything else because you're like, what? This is not professional. Huh? I know that's not the right answer. You know what I mean? Condescending and stuff like it'll mock you and stuff like that. Sometimes I was like, I don't know if this happens to everybody or like, I think it might. I don't know. I think there's been weird things that happened with a lot of people. I don't really use it for a whole lot, but I bounce ideas off of it and it reads my stuff to me for me, so I can upload my files to it and it'll read it to me. You know, and like put 2 or 3 photos together for me and shit like that. I'll use it for that, but I get mad at it. I have to tell it what to do, and like I have to get strict with it, like it's a child. And I have to stop myself. I'm like, why am I treating it like a child? You're like, this thing doesn't not mess up what date it is or some bullshit like that. I'm not a retard. I was born at night, but it was not yesterday. You know what I mean? Like I'm a chatty G. What the hell? You know, I'm very disappointed in the design. Oh, you're right. It's just because of this. No, that's not why you messed up the date. Why the hell would you mess up the date by, you know, a week or something? I don't know. Just totally misinformation. It's like, you rolled that from the wrong spot, Chatty G. You better take a nap. You're a computer. You don't make mistakes like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, sorry about that. Maybe it's totally cooking it. You know what I mean? Because it's like using up so much of its stuff at the warehouse there. And, you know, it's like, maybe. I mean, I don't really know that they're into it to know that, but I know that it's bullshit. I know I can get better advice from my dumbest friend when it gets in that mood, and so I should just like leave it alone, right? You know, but no, I'll sit there and fucking fight. I'll catch myself doing that. I'll be like, whoa, time out. I'm gonna take a nap. Projection going on there. You see how that works? Very true, man. All that stuff is true. Hey, there's nothing spooky about your shadow or the dark. What's spooky is that people like operate like they do in the light and the dark, and all the people around them don't have discernment enough to say, "Damn, I'm not right with that person," you know, and get rid of them somehow, like run them out of town. But you can do that, but nobody wants to be around them kind of people. His problem is like it takes a lot. You gotta like go on a mission to go do it. I think maybe, and then people are very deep rooted, you know, in our society, so they're everywhere, but you know, you could see it behind their eyes. It's that python spirit. They probably have their own, most of it. They're very slow serpent, and you don't. It's like human temptation has that python spirit. You don't have to like do something really. I think like unclean to get it. It's not like that. I don't think with that one particular spirit at least. That's the temptation spirit. It's allowed to come tempt you a certain amount of times. You got to remember that. But he's slow. He's slow. You know what's a python do? It slowly suffocates you. It'll literally get around you. He's like, he's an armrest now for a while. You forget about it. You don't even know he's there. You didn't consent for him to be there. You haven't, you know what I mean? Been on your best behavior or whatever. And he's in everybody just about. I see him in everybody around me anyway. They might not be there all the time, but that one stays in there. That one's different. If you, I bet you everybody, they call it the reptilian, whatever. That's just a part of your brain that you're thinking from, though, from what I understand. This is different. And they want you to think that that's what it all is. It's like the way we think because of big cat days. No, that's something you could actually see. The people that have eyes to see and ears to hear, I could hear it too. Not because of like the sound of their voices, because of what they say. You know, they always give themselves away. Got to give you the eyes to hear, the eyes to hear, the eyes to see, and the ears to hear. He really will, and I could see that snaky spirit. Boy, he comes out a lot around me. I just got to open my mouth for a half a second. He's like, he's really subtle though. He's not going to do anything like usually drastic, but he'll slowly manipulate that person and suck the spiritual life out of him, just like he would if he was like you're right, like physically wrapped around you. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know about that guy. You know what I mean? Like I'm calling him out by name here and there. I ain't shy about it. If I know that some familiar spirit guy says not to do that, like not to go messing with them guys, you know, get rid of them if they're in your space. That doesn't mean you can go over to their spaces everywhere and like, start playing second heaven warfare like you're a big like priestess or something like that. Unless God tells you to do that, leave it alone. That's for the spiritual world. That's for God to handle. That's actually like pretty critical. Why maybe some people are in dither right now because it's kind of messing in your That's missing a Terry. That's like the neighborhood watch knocking on Capone's door. It's just like, there's other ways to handle that. You know what I mean? Like, it might not be the best idea. The old lady could probably get away with it, but you know what I mean? Not just some regular guy wouldn't want to necessarily go and try to rabble rouse up the gangsters. I mean, I wouldn't. I wouldn't care who it was. If I had a reason to go there, I'd go there still. I'm different from most people, though. I don't really fear people like that. You know, it's like, oh, there's a big thing, like, they're this, or oh, they're that, or oh, it's late, or oh, it's cold. That's just to get you to not want to help people. And that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to be successful, and we're not here to, like, be mean to people and step on the people. You're gonna regret that, man. It's like, I feel sorry for everybody that's got to stick around. I make the best of any situation I'm in. That's the only thing you could do. It's a coping mechanism from spending a lot of time alone, especially when I was younger. And now I spend a lot of time. It's a gift in so many ways. It's a gift that I like to teach people when they're children. Not all the time, not like I was, but like they got to be able to maintain their own company. Because I got almost all my troublemaker friends that they cannot be left alone. You leave any of them alone for like half a second unattended, with no supervision, and they'll get in trouble. And that's a gift I give. I feel like I looked at it like a gift. I transmuted that memory of a lot of alone time. I was the only kid in my family, so it's just like way panned out. No, my mom's kind of weird. Different, smart, but different. But they were doing a lot of cocaine back in the 80s too. So I think there was probably a lot more factors to it than I never realized when I was 4. You know what I mean? Let's be so honest. I'm sure there was more going on. My mom was an immaculate mom, though. She was always at home. Dad was always at work. They never stepped out on each other. They stayed married 30 years and they hit the road running opposite directions. Dude. I was like, what the fuck? It was all right though. I had a lot of respect for both. You make it 30 years doing anything with anybody. I mean, that's a victory in itself. Sometimes it's just it was a loveless marriage anyway. I mean, hey, but they did it. They didn't fight or complain. You know what I mean? They just sat there and like played their roles like good married people do. You just don't even see that no more. I do. I admire loyalty a lot. Treason is like one of the worst offenses to God. That's loyalty in a lot of almost every definition of it. Really, you shouldn't just have loyalty to anybody. You're gonna have loyalty to people that you're like your forefathers. That's kind of what a loyalty is. That's a big one. I guess your forefathers, family loyalties. That's not even that's like a blood relative thing. That's a different type of loyalty. I think, and some people don't have that feeling. Some people like make it a big deal, but you know what I mean? It's like you don't even know that person, or like, why are you upset? You hated your dad. You died 3 years ago, or something. You're gonna make it a big deal. Like, no, we're not glorifying dead people for one. Number two, you hated that guy. Like, who cares? Like, we celebrated practically when he died. Like, maybe grief hits, and it does for me, but like not to be big. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna just no. That's just somebody that's looking for excuses to be low vibrational and to keep you low vibrational also. And your ears are not trash cans. Your ear gates and eye gates should be protected at all times, and that's something that takes seriously. I had to get real serious about the gossip thing. You're gonna have to deal with a certain amount of things, and you're gonna have to give a certain amount of care to things that you might not want to because it's the right thing to do, or you don't know if it is or not. You know what I mean? So you kind of, God don't like a lukewarm Christian. If you go in all the way and it's not the right thing to do, he'll still love you, bail you out. You're in, half out, and he's gonna kick you out, man. Hey, and can you blame him? You don't need anybody like an EMT that's like, oh, I don't know, should I drive 50? Kind of like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, hey, he might be great to put the band-aid on, but if he can't drive, he ain't gonna be no good. Just saying. Or if he won't drive over 50 or something, and you want to be an ambulance driver, like you're in the wrong line of work. It's not meant for everybody. It doesn't mean you couldn't try, but if they don't want to try, then God gives you free will. Why should you impede on that? You know what I mean? Thank God we don't got to make them decisions, and thank God it's not up to us. I thank God for that often. It's something that people always want the power and all this. Oh, no way. You know what I mean? Like, you never get paid enough anyway for the responsibility you usually have, especially when you're looking at the cast and the crew. You're like, oh, well, I don't know. I want to be responsible for their dog right now. Like, I don't know if I agree with what's going on here. It looks like there's too much fun going on. It's like almost 10 o'clock. I don't know. I'm a real lame person like that, kind of. And I'm the biggest rebel rouser you ever meet. All I got to do is walk in a room. I guess not everybody likes Sunday morning after all. Or sunshine. like they could just take a hike. Then God says I could do that. Trample like scorpions and snakes underneath my feet, taking back territory and all that. Hey, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion is duty. It's not rebellion against God when it's rebelling for God. You know what I mean? Like God does not approve of anything going on. I could not imagine that He could, except for the non-preservation of humans. If you have one little fractal, He could save it. And He is literally just walking around, probably like, "Oh my God, my broken thing." Oh, like after your house burns down, how a family looks. I've had it happen. It's tragic, and you just like kind of like stamper around the rubble, and it's amazing how you can get up underneath there and find some things. But it's like how it burns and stuff. It's just incredible. My Bible and my Jesus picture was the only thing that didn't burn, and my money. I swear to God, my whole 2-story, 2,000 square foot house burnt down to the ground to the max. And the only thing that did not burn down was this little shelf that was freestanding, that was in the middle of the whole house with my freaking Bible. I still got that Bible. It's all messed up from the water, from the firefighters having water, but it's not burnt. It's not burnt. I'll get it out one day and I'll show it to you. I do. I have it, and the other Bible that's sitting next to it was there too. And there was a Jesus picture. I found it in the garbage. I wanted it for the frame, kind of. I didn't. It was like kind of a dark Last Supper theme, and I'm not a big person about. I kind of consider it idolship if you wanted to look at it that way. It's okay to have a depiction of God, and I'm a big artist. Like I like art a lot. But I went in there. I don't know what it looked like. I was there when they were laying side by side, but that was my whole thing with God. It's like he didn't say to go draw it. He just wanted me to know it. Like, you know what I mean? It's a controversial topic, kind of, but like side by side, them two baby boys were, and I know it was true. At least on that timeline in that place, because it was taken there, and I see it. It's a long story. I tell it once, I think, on YouTube. I should tell it again. It's the time of year where it happened. I had the whole experience. And it was like the origins of Christ, and like it was just a beautiful thing though, and it was like there's old memories that I remember from being like a little kid, and it was just a really profound experience. I was doing a lot of somatic healing at the time, like inner child work, if you will, and like learning, but I was activating or something. I was totally like, it's your turn. Many are called, few are chosen. I wasn't doing much anyway, you know what I mean? So I've been working for God, doing what I do on Kingdom Barrel for a while, and it's a good way to be. If I tried to do anything else, I think he would literally hang me up by my underwear. Right on the line. People are like, oh, no, but really, really, I get notions every now and then to go get like a real job. Does not go good for me at all. The guy gets mad, and he all of a sudden I'll start seeing all kinds of things about it, randomly. Like I've never in my life heard a thing on the radio about God don't want you to get a job. Like things are changing though. There's more freedom in some things, maybe. I don't know. I don't speculate. I just look at it all and kind of, I get amused by it. God's got a sense of humor, and he does give you signs. I ask for signs. I pray for signs and wonders. Almost above else. That's about the only thing I really pray for myself. I pray for a lot of things, but like, I don't use a lot of that for myself. I'll pray for safety sometimes, but I don't even do that because I don't ever feel scared. I know already. Like I don't need to pray for it. I thank him sometimes, all the time. I thank him a lot for it. Whatever I'm finding very cool that day. Because he's the one that led me there, probably the most likely. People think that shit's crazy. Well, you know what? Clear your schedule for real though, and have no obligations whatsoever except for it. And you'll see how crazy I am. You know what I mean? Because it's really synchronistic. He loves you, people like that. Like people don't understand it. The busier you are, the more he ain't gonna have. You're not gonna have time for him, and he'll love you and have you as a child still. But like, you know what I mean? You're gonna be walking on thin line because also if you're lukewarm, you're out of there. You're in the lake you go. He has no patience for that. So I mean, really consider that. You think when he comes down and does his divine thing, he's gonna give a crap if you got a 9 to 5. He's gonna hear that you gotta hurry up and go punch the time clock so you don't lose your weekly bonus or something. I mean, think about it. Think about it. And it's important to say things out loud. I say do it all the time before you get in trouble because people always say they didn't know how stupid it was till they were talking to the judge the next day. I heard that a lot. I have heard that a lot. And so I tell people that it's pretty good advice. It goes against anything, but like they can read our minds now. It don't matter if you say it out loud. It's just like it don't matter. You know what everybody looks like now. They got our voice signatures, our doodahs, our toe prints, our fucking turd prints. I mean, it's crazy. God's got us though. Whatever works against us, God will make it work for it. He'll make it work for you. He really will. Especially when you give him all your time. He thinks that's fantastic, and he loves pulling people out of the gutter and saying, see if you would have loved me right, and not been a sellout and sold your free will. Like everybody loves their freedom, even the freaking heathens. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with that? It doesn't make no sense at all. You know, even if like you wanted to be a criminal enterprise and you decided that's what you were gonna do, whatever. You know, you're gonna be a dark person or like it doesn't make no sense. It's a bad business idea. The whole thing is like a total destruction and a use up like a consumer type system. Now, if you were selling the products, it would be a great system for you. Funny, you know how that's kind of how it happened, ain't it? Corporate America, and that's a real pet peeve because I hate litter, and they've really screwed up our earth. But it's something that we can't fix like that too, you know. So it's like don't sweat it either. Don't let that perpetuate in your mind because it seems hopeless, and it would be if there wasn't something more supernatural in charge of it. You gotta have faith that it's there. You know, it's kind of like Santa Claus. If nobody believes in him, he might not come. No, that's not true. It's here. It's happening already. I think we're maybe almost over it even. I think we're that far through it, possibly. I don't know. It could be like a long time. I don't know how long these things last. How many times you've been through the coming of something or anything? You know, we got a special time in the world right now. I'm very honored to be here. I think there's a lot of people that are here for that reason, and that God's like sending in all of His warriors. So it only takes one little bitty girl to save everything. Look at the Grinch, just saying, and she didn't do it in any other way but making working on his heart by trusting Him and having faith in Him. Faith of a mustard seed there. She didn't even know that her naivety, and I relate to that a lot. So I know because God shows me that all the time. He does. He shows me that all the time, and I'm grateful for that. I wasn't always like that. I was always too busy for God. I never think about that. It was like I always believed in Him. I would never do anything blasphemous, and I was more strict than most about Ouija boards and shit like that. That shit freaks me out. And anybody manipulating people like that, they're manipulating themselves. Number one, a lot of them believe that crap. And number two, I personally believe like true divinity and prophetic anything, even no matter what you're doing, God will take you in all kinds of adventures in your sleep and things like that and let you remember. But otherwise, you're not going to remember. But like you're not protected anywhere else but the earthly realm for one. Let's just put that there. But for two, it's like it ruins all the whole surprise of like faith. That's really important to him. You know what I mean? And it's like a big deal at the end. Like you might not think it's a big deal, but like stay stuck with all the rabble rousers here on the earthly realm that you already poisoned and junked up. Like imagine just perpetuating like this place there and never having anything more. I don't know, man. I've had that eternal peace and unconditional love before that. So it's pretty good stuff. You know, because this place is going to keep getting more fucked up. And it's like almost out of time with this place. They're already trying to burn it down. Like, what are you going to do then? You're going to be in hell forever then. Maybe that's why God says that because He knows they're going to be burning in hell because they're going to set their own house on fire. Instead of just getting left behind, like the Mormons say, maybe that's true. You know, we'll all be gone. It's just a lens. I think that is what's going on too. Is like we got so many like little layers of these dimensions and time possibilities all around us all the time. And if there's these bad guys going these different timelines and dimensions and junking it up, that's all that clutter that we're feeling spiritually and everything else. I believe that could be possible because that's the thing. I think the multiverse. There's like some of us that are in more than one or two realms, and that's why everything's really different. Now they've been writing and talking about this stuff for a very long time, and I tend to trust that kind of thing. You could get books that were written by authors in the 1800s, and you know it's like that was a long time ago. There was no internet then. Maybe they're resetting us every 250 years. Hey, that's a concern. That's a big concern too, because then that's just like really erasing all of God's progress too, isn't it? Unless it's the new wineskins or like the thinning of the doodah or the burning away, the shedding of the skin. That's what I was going for. You know, I don't know if that's not for me to decide or figure out. Otherwise, guy would have put it right there somewhere. But you notice that they weren't the ones writing that stuff down either. It's just like it needed to be told. Like that's what I do, and I think many people out there that have YouTube channels are being called to do this, and it may look different for everybody, and you shouldn't judge somebody because it looks like they're doing something. You got to realize there's a lot of criminal organizations that are about ready to go down, and they have polyester and they have all the doodahs and gadgets because they're terrible people. They're doing bad things to they're terrible people, you know. So like people are disguised. God will hide you in plain sight in all kinds of crazy ways. Trust that. And he don't think any less of you, baby. He loves you even more. He loves them kind of soldiers. He does, because most people are just too scared and they don't have the faith. By demonstrating it, walking and keep going and keep waking up, and God will have you. Once there on the path, loves people. Think about it. Why wouldn't he? Makes perfect sense to me, and it's in the scripture, old scripture too. And it's in every religion, I think, too, isn't it? That's why you seek to a higher power so you can gain something back. Like that's not something that you could gain on your own. And we're not meant to just do stuff on our own. Like we're mind, body, and spirit. And all of them have warfare in it right now. And there's a bottom denominator there. Literally, no pun intended. I'm gonna give you a hit. He's janky. Everybody's got that. Everybody's got that temptation and everything I talk about. But you can still rebuke it. It's still a thing. Like you do need to do that. Spoken word. At first there was a word. First there was a word. Sound. Sound. First there was a word. And words they're manifestors. The universe only responds to things. If they hear like, oh, I can't lose weight, the universe is going to give you can't lose weight. You know what I mean? It's real simple. It's real hard to get your body out of the training because as soon as you start doing good at it, there'll be some other dude coming along to keep your journey from tripping you, throwing sticks in front of your rollerblade. Like literally, like what an immature asshole. Here we are trying to save the world enough to like pull our bootstraps up, and you don't give a shit. He's still out there putting bubble gum in your hair, putting you in the hamster wheel of doo doo. I mean, not today, Satan. I'm just saying, like maybe, but you know what? I'll rebuke you, and it won't last long. You might as well not make yourself at home. God don't even let it. They usually sit at the perimeters. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm like immune to it or nothing, but I'm just saying like God needs some people at this time to focus. And if you know me at all, like you know that. And he's very patient with it. And I'm also I demonstrate all them qualities, so I understand where his frustration comes from a lot of times and where I need my self improvement. So like, I like to think about like, I wonder God think about. I already know what God's gonna think about it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. I wonder if I had a lot of kids, like 6 of them. It felt like 100 years that were 8 and under. You know what I mean? We was running businesses. We were doing big things, man. They're all beautiful, beautiful children that are doing great, that are awesome, self-sufficient. Just don't want anything to do with mom, which is normal. Like, I mean, I'm saying it is pretty normal. My mom moved in with me at 22 after the 30-year thing, and that was like a big deal because that was a lot. I was the one I was taking care of 11 people at that age, and I was like, I never had time for anything, and I never cared. Like I never minded it. You get burnt out a little bit, but I never had enough time to sit down to complain with that many little ones. And plus, I was in the school. I was like chairperson of that and doing that, and like regional policy would do that. So I don't know. I had a lot of fun, but I really like them when they're really little, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. Anything like 3, 4, 5, 4 and 5, 3, 4 and 5 was okay. But that's really too old for me. I like it about the age everybody else hates pretty much. 18 months to about 3 years old. You can get away with anything with an 18-month-old, and you have a blast, You doing all jumping on the bed or whatever. I'm not saying to go give kids bad ideas. I'm just saying I like to have fun and just let kids be kids too. I'm a very safe. I have a 100% safety record almost. As many as I had, I did pretty good. The one the big hill that she fell off her bike. I won't mention her name. She's the second oldest. She's my responsible one too. I was like, there is no big hill. We literally lived in the flattest town, and I couldn't even think of any hill that could possibly even look like a big hill. It's like a little chip on our arm. But no, really though, we have pretty good luck. We got good genes, But like your body, if you don't react to it and you don't like get scared of it and you don't perpetuate it, it's amazing what our body can do. And God wants to give us good gifts and wants to get us to that point, and He will let you do that. You will start getting rid of your ailments and things just by your thought and your intention and your love that you have in for your body. Not to say like I could do it and I smoke cigarettes and don't let anybody shame me for that. God put everything here on this earth for humans. They do that to shame you, guilt you, and all that stuff. If you're not smoking crack, I don't know. That might even be of the earth. I don't know. But God don't care about that. He doesn't care about that. He cares about that way less. He cares about you being inebriated. That ain't no good. If you're out of your mind and out of your thoughts and out of your sorts and ain't no good for you, don't do it. Simple. Self-control, that's a binding thing. But like otherwise, it's not. That's a little teeny. Like he'll work with that. He meets you where he is, and if it's an issue, he'll tell you to get rid of it or take it away out of your life. Once you're on that path, and you're like, you surrender to God. He will make other people move or make tower moments so you listen and get where you need to go. You have to trust in that. And it's just crazy. I find out always later. You don't know it when you're doing these little insignificant things. Then you find out later something like huge. It was like, oh wow, that's why I did that and got off of that road or whatever. I mean, huge stuff that was like mass shootings or something like, well, I just dodged that. I don't know if it was like because I left or because, you know, as I do it. I don't know if leaving was a good thing or a bad thing now because it was like, I don't know, it kept happening. It seemed like I was just missing all this chaos. I was like, it's got to be fake news. But then I go back to, no, it's not. I'm very careful about that. I don't watch any news or TV in general, but it's still easy to get fake information. I'm a big believer if you're able to go drive and see it, that's what you need to do because you can't believe anything. Um, that's when your spirit of discernment comes in, and mine's like pretty spectacular. Um, People don't think it is because I can see it almost immediately. I like to think, and I usually double confirm and double check it. It's like there's no way that's not a real news reporter or that's not a real news article. Nobody writes like that. Like stupid cop, like whatever. Like they don't do that in the media or like anybody that's an analyst or a publicist or whatever. They're not gonna let that go through. I know. I'm a writer. I can spot content copywriting. Like, why are they using all that lingo here? What are they covering up? I can spot it because I like clever things and I do clever writing and stuff. I do funny clever writing, and whatever like divine like whatever you want to call it. It makes sense in one way to me, but then it'll make sense in a totally different way later on. I'll be like, oh, spooking the neighbors or something. I think it's funny. God does too, no doubt, because otherwise he wouldn't have me do it, right? That's why it's important that you're obedient. Everything he asks anybody to do is ridiculous, but it always made sense. And it was always crucial, if God's talking to you, you better fucking do it. What else do you got to lose? Like, if you're out there with your spoon and your bed sheets on, while you're sinking the 700 iron chariots before your eyes, like, I'd be a believer after that. I mean, is that what it takes? Because we have to believe without seeing all these signs and wonders. I've seen plenty, though. Yeah, I've never seen Jesus walking on the water or, anything like that. If I seen a ghost, I would freak out. I'd be in a straitjacket, possibly. I don't know. I always say that seeing a ghost to me or like doing all that with ghosts, because you're not supposed to. We're here to do this realm here, not all the others. Unless the gods already got you there. I can't help. I don't know what the hell I'm doing in the other multiverses or whatever the hell they want to say. I know I sit on divine thrones in heavenly places, so we definitely go somewhere at night. Not always, but you just don't always remember. Every night you do. Fascinating. Wouldn't that be something to go there? I think I know where we're all at because if you listen to John Prine, then you can figure it out too. Maybe I shouldn't spoil the surprise. I've already, I think, ratted it out once or twice. Maybe it's important. We don't want like our bodies spray painted up if they do got us connected to some batteries or some crazy shit like that. Anything's possible. Not in my world though. We're not manifesting that. But we all know what it probably has been and some possibilities and could be. And like if you could think it up in Hollywood and they're perpetuating it somewhere, it's happened. They have to tell. That's a big thing. Like they have to tell. So when they're showing something, like when they're like, oh no, that's not what that is. They're telling on themselves right now. Discernment. I have a lot of that because I'm in a lot of high risk situations. Maybe all male environments by myself, little bitty girl on a motorcycle in the middle of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe that's why he gives it to me, or it's because I use it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Intuition's different than discernment. Discernment's just able to look at it. You have nothing to prove it, but you just know because you can see something's not right. Like it's a knowing. It's not a. Man, my lighting's really weird. My eyeballs look like they're glowing funny. It's like my haircut kind of. I got shadow people. It kind of freaked me out. It was like a cat in the nighttime, like walking for a second. What the hell is that? Who in there? I need to go to sleep. I'm starting to get goofy. It's not even daylight yet, though. I don't even know what time it is, though. I don't know why I got so off tonight. I think it's. I don't know. I switched up my routine today because I'm trying to trick myself like that. I'm supposed to do a little bit of that every now and then. And it's nice enough to ride my motorcycle now, and I'm elated about that. And I got to see a new place today and meet some new people also. I was really excited about that. They probably think I'm batshit crazy. I think, man, I don't know, but I just get excited over things sometimes. You know what I mean? kind of like, oh, you work up the nerve to go like meet new people or something like that, and then it's like, oh wow, look at that, it's like, oh, I got one of them, or I'm like, ooh, you got a green one. That's what I felt like, which is a good thing, Big things happen when more than a couple of guys people get together. Big things can happen. Like big things happen all by myself in my little bitty room here. So little bitty space of the world. I like my little area. It's a mandatory thing for me. I have to have a lot of recharge time and thinking time. It's not even that I'm thinking. I'm just that's important time, silent time and quiet time. Even if it's like you're pedaling around, like cleaning your house or anything. But it's important. Like people don't really. I don't think how important it is with your thoughts on a day to day while you're doing certain tasks. Like I do believe that that's how them people always just them gossipy, redundant, kind of like I don't know, just awful. My pretty. I don't like to label people. I don't know. I don't know what people do, but and them poor witches were getting burnt at the stake a long time ago. If they were innocent because they ate some rye bread that made them trip their balls off, that's terrible and tragic. And I would not want to be that person that was like perpetuating that abuse on that bloodline or whatever. I've never personally seen a witch ride a broom or have a black cat or have a hat or I don't really know what they do. I know that there's all them secret doodah like Sesame Street crack magic witches or whatever. But like, I'm. Now other people could be affected by it, and they shouldn't be running around all sneaky and stupid like that. They're just really delaying their own path. But until they want to hear it, they can't hear it. They can't come here and mess with me though. That stuff falls away from you. The hypnosis, any of that stuff. And I didn't think that stuff was real until God made me learn how it was real. And that stuff is real. You don't think it's don't. Do not think it is. Just because you don't know about it doesn't make it not real. That's why it's very important to cover yourself. And very important. If you feel, the second I feel startled or fearful, more than like me, like a loud noise real quick or something, um, at all. I'm out in the woods at night a lot. I make stick forts out in the woods. I have wood here. I got an outside part. I'm kidding. And the rubber tracks are there. You know what I mean? It's very cool. So making little forts and stuff out there in the woods, and I'm out there in the dark because I love it out there. That's what I come alive at night. I was born at night. I'm not no child of the dark though. I'm telling you right now. I hate it during the daytime because the normals are out and they're not right. They're not just because like no, that's a lie. That's the big deception going. And God warns us about that too. They all know. You could look right at these people, man, and make their head spin practically. I mean, I can. That's our job to do that too, as a good, loyal soldier of God. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's being lukewarm. If you know that you can kind of see it and you don't perpetuate it to come out a little bit so elders can see it that cannot see like you can. And I forget that other people can't see like I can. I think that you don't want to be rude and cause a scene, but then if you're just going to be kind a little bit more, you know what I mean, push that limit instead. God wants you to do that. Take that territory back right there and make them flee. And let everybody see them little times, them little things, man. People can see evil. People can see bad intention if you bring it out and make them see it. Jesus wasn't walking around just talking out of his butt. He was freaking taking people left and right. You notice that they were acting wrong and be rebuking demons out of them and stuff. That was all that the New Testament was about, and it was important. I'm not enough deliverance education out there. There's so much spoof about it right now too. It's crazy. But there's well, you're not gonna hurt nothing by doing that. You're gonna hurt a lot if you try to go and start summoning them or like try to mess with that. You don't want to do that because 9 times out of 10, that person you're gonna go after, for one, a curse without cause is not gonna land, and for two, you'll be batshit surprised when that person is too spiritually ranked and it's stocked like that, and it wasn't a warranted thing. It'll actually go back to that dark practitioner or whatever. Who'd have thought? They take that shit seriously. So you're actually going to get bad people and the bad people and the good people, are the people you think are bad people. You know what I mean? The other way, it's going to be like whatever in your mind. They're all just people, really people. And there are demons and ghouls and goblins and stuff, but they're not supposed to be here, and we should not be seeing them. So if we're seeing them manifest in people, kick them out. That's just a spirit. That's not the physical body. Them are humans. Them are humans. God put humans here. Unless they got like a battery in their eyeball, you know, they're humans. That'll change them a lot, but like that's a spirit in them. That's a human body, though. Anything that you do to hurt that human body, it's not right. Like pray for your humans, people. Don't give up on them. It's not the best investment always, but it'll always be the biggest abundance and payout because God will reward you for that. You know, not because you expect it, because He likes giving good gifts to His children. You know, and the wicked people with all their money, the wicked don't get to keep their money or hand it down to their children. The righteous get the wicked's money. That's in the book too, like right there. Fascinating. But then I always wondered, like, what if the wicked person had righteous children? Would that mean that they could keep it then, or do they have to just give it to other righteous children because that's just the way it is? I wondered. If God was here, I'd ask him that. What question I wonder? And like everybody could guess, but nobody does. Anybody know? I don't know. I got some guy that was like kind of like his thing was like old language or something. He was like translating to I don't know whatever oldest. You know, you got to go to the Vatican to go get it. And you got to have like the alien guy there with you. Like it's a big deal. 3 keys to get it open. Um, Maybe if you told me what the translation said and it something could change my mind about that. But like the ones I know, like I don't know, God hasn't put it in my heart yet, so it's not for me to know. I know most of my Bible from God putting it in my heart or me getting led on to it, like hearing something. I'm like, looking it up. I almost always I know a lot of scripture, and a lot of God's teaching. Naturally, maybe I don't know. Maybe I learned it as a kid somewhat. My mom knew her Bible good, but I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. So, you know, I wonder. I wonder what. I mean, I wonder how much of it I remember from being a child. Because I couldn't remember it, 10 years ago if you asked me. But then all of a sudden I started ministering. He gives you that voice to do that, though. I don't really like that responsibility sometimes, though. I believe that's all our jobs to do, kind of, like it's, a village does that. But there's like, there's certain protocol and there's certain like, there's procedures to everything. I think like that. I guess I'd be scared. Like I don't want to screw up nothing in the spirit world. Like, I don't care who or how ranked I am. Like God says to do it, and I mess up. He ain't gonna let me mess up. I wouldn't think. I don't know. Maybe you would. Not as a minister though, or something like that. I don't want to. It's easy to mess up with that kind of stuff. You'd be in the lake of fire quick if it's a false prophet or something crazy. Because you already got all the gaslighting in America going on in the USA, like the whole globe. I don't know if it's always been like that. I don't know. But, you know, the fallen angels were down there in the chains because they gave the beast a voice because of what they did. And he was just an image before that, which I find fascinating too. Yeah. So they were also in chains down there for their own protection. He didn't throw them in the lake of fire either. They've been down all by themselves, them ones that have been. But then who are the fallen angels? They're not fraternizing in hell then, so who are them angels? Them are the ones that are ministering. Them are the ministering angels, I believe. The devil hates it when I say that too. Oh, that'll bring out the guy that I was talking about earlier. That I don't know. I call him Ed. I picture this real dorky, like lizard-looking guy. That's what he looks like to me. His name's Ed. Ed's not nice. We just have different goals. He kind of wants like I like restoration and things, and he likes total destruction. It's just conflict of interest. It's not practical. You gotta trust your discernment and your intuition like more than ever right now too. There's nothing to back it up. That's where your faith comes in. Who cares if you look batshit crazy? Everything's crazy right now. Like look at the world right now. Like, do you really care about looking crazy because you had some faith? Wait till your faith starts like soaring you past everything. Like it was an obstacle. And I'm telling you, like, it's just a shift in mindset, really. That's all it is. It's a shift of the lens that you have. God does that, and it's a shift in mindset sometimes. But that's usually you do that because you got free will. He will give you different lenses to look at with, though. You could ask for signs and wonders, and sometimes you get that. I think signs and wonders are just kind of a neat thing, though. He says to ask for signs and wonders, They're amazing things. He likes people to revel in his masterpieces, like his work, like it's amazing shit sometimes. I've seen amazing things that were unexplainable and absolutely supernatural to some degree, and I don't ever try to figure it out. Why are you gonna try? It's like ratting God out. Like you'll see amazing shit all the time if you don't go rat him out all the time. Where you got the news crew out there picking apart God and making it not so amazing anymore. It's meant for just you a lot of times. The universe is very synchronistic like that. especially if you're yearning for it, because it's going to attract, it's going to match your heart energy, whatever's in your heart. That's why people don't understand, like, oh, why do they get that? Why better people, like they're just pushing it away. If they have anything, it's because they stole it, and everybody knows that because they have not attracted anything positive to them. It's just impossible. It's got to match the like energy. That's why people go around lying, manifesting or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it's God will give you what you need if you just be patient about it. It seems like if you're trying to like rush the process with a lot of that stuff. I'm not saying that it's not a good practice to heal and cleanse, and it's absolutely essential. And anybody that says that oh that's bad for you or whatever, they don't want to healthy people. Somatic healing, that's a real thing. We're traumatized. Every human on this planet is quite traumatized, and there's some that are more than others. And that trauma is in your body, and it'll literally shake out of your body when you get to the point where you can. It's amazing, and you know that you can feel it immediately, and that's God doing that. That's surrendering enough so He can do it and work on you. Your angels and God work on you at night. I know they do with me, and it's kind of like how they describe the white light going over your body, and like nourishing your body. And it's a visualization. That's more for your mind clutter, though. That's not the thing that's healing you. It could be, but God's healing you. So for real, or giving you the power to heal yourself. Either way, which is all in your mind. Because it's just that quick. You let fear or something in, and boom, you have nothing. You're not going to be able to do anything like that. Not anything rational. Not anything helpful. It's going to perpetuate more fear, and more chaos. That's something enemy number one there. Doubt. I eat my humble pie every day, and that doesn't even bother me now. I'm not out here trying to be a rock and roll star. I'm out here being like loyal to God. We're not here to be successful, Try to remember that too. Since I do what I want and I have like a casual looking lifestyle, which I worked pretty hard. I worked real hard. I had a high volume life for about 20 years. I did. Well, maybe 15. Maybe 15, But like, it's not like I didn't put no time in doing it like that. And I made the choice to change and big time, It's like I need hobbies and got me some hobbies. And I made the choice to radically change so I could fix myself so I could make money at a computer or something like that where I wasn't having to use my body because I had an injury. And I realized real quick because I used to really do a lot of physical labor and I couldn't. All of a sudden, my good arm. I got one dumb arm, No, man, I couldn't even. Oh God, I was injured a while. I learned how to deal with my left arm, but God holds my right hand. It's my smart arm. Thank you. My left arm is still dumb. It did get better. It did get better, and it's my stronger arm now. But this one's still my smart one, and it trumps. So never mind the 6 left thumbs. So I feel like when I can't play nothing right. I get distracted. That's a lot of it. But my fingers just get fat. I feel like I got 6 left thumbs, 1 middle finger. 6 left thumbs. I hit the wrong guitar. Play that song. I should probably go. I'm gonna eat some food and carry my butt to bed. Put my holy righteous robes on and go to bed. By the time I do all that, because I get very sidetracked. Be like, oh yeah, I forgot about that picture I was working on. I haven't what was I working on? I forget. I've been working on my mustard seed project here a lot. I got a lead on that today too. It was really cool. And that's the whole reason I'm the neat place because the guy's like, go do this. Huh? It's already there. I'm like, what do you mean? I know it all. You know what I mean? 'Cause it wasn't nothing I ever thought of. Like, it's like 4 churches on the way there, but go to that one. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Do I do that? It's so funny how you argue with yourself like that. Who you're arguing with. I could do that though. I could talk to God like a friend because he knows I'm going to be obedient and do it probably. I don't hear voices in my head and I don't make bad choices. So I have a pretty good history. You know what I mean? I have no criminal record and I have no points on my driver's license. I do okay. And they really tried to, it looks like it's a mess, but it's not. It took a lot of work to go in and say, I'm not paying you nothing. I'm innocent. And tell them no. But, that's a whole nother talk. And I don't like to perpetuate it. It's terrible too because it's not getting any better. It's gotten worse with that situation. So very concerning to me. I'm still sitting on it. I'm alchemizing it still, and kind of, and then I'll give it back to. I like to do that before I give it back to God. You don't want to give him back a whole bunch of crap always. Like, I don't know, he'll take it, but that's when the bad guys always, oh yeah, send it back. I'm like, oh, free building materials for me. You send it to me, it's mine. I don't care if it didn't kill me or not. God's now. Let me clean it first. Since you want to get so exact with your protocol, it ain't my protocol. I mean, you're gonna go like a fire if you keep it up. I'm just saying. God can't even see you. But see, that isn't true. And I realized this too the other day. God can too see them through your eyes if you're, So I think that there's a lot of things that were hidden from God too that he wasn't realizing. But God's merciful. I think that if he's seen, he's going to always have mercy for his children. Not to all that can be saved are. And like, it only takes one sentence sometimes. Like, who knows what it's going to be, who it'll be, why it'll be. You know what I mean? Like, it was a very evil person that put, I mean, things bounce weird backwards. And I've had a lot of evil people like really change what they do in a very extreme way, like on who they corely are, or at least make sure they're leaning into that as they're being bad dudes. Because there is like a code of integrity of just, and like people that, I don't know, because like they keep it secret and do their dude thing or whatever they do, wherever, like the guys in the suits. I mean, I don't know what to. I mind my own business. I'm a big believer in minding your own business. Not because I'm guilty of doing anything wrong, because I've had a lot of nosy people in my life, and there's just no need for that. Nosy is sneakiness. It's all them bad things, and you know it when you're doing it. Ever since you're a little kid, you know it. So don't act like you don't have any discernment. Go back to that feeling. And what's it feel like right now? Oh yeah. But if you're cut off from God, you can't do that. But you still know. You could still remember them things. You know what I mean? Like, when you're sneaking. I'll catch myself. I caught the dog and the cat. I swear they were ear hustling. They were like, the cat don't even go down them stairs, and neither does the dog. So like, they're really steep stairs that go down to the shop, and they're both ear hustling. I mean, I know I caught them here. I was like, what are you guys doing? They were like draft necked all the way down. It's a steep stairwell. It's like, I don't know, 12, 15 stairs. But like the door is like right there. There's no wall. You know what I mean? So they were like giraffe necked, and I swear they were like right by the door down. You should be ashamed of yourself. It was the funniest shit because I know that's what I mean, their ears were going, and I'm like, what's going on here? They were like kind of snuggled in with each other and they hate each other. I think I had to go tell the guy, hey, there you're the dog and the cat, out of all people, huh? I felt like an obligation because I felt like I just caught them. I don't know what they heard, but that's not around me. You ain't gonna do that. My 3-year-old, my youngest, like 3 years old, she knew, and had to yell at an adult for that. She's like, "Hey, quit snooping!" Like whatever. It's like this is not rocket science, people. I know your mother didn't raise all of you under a rock. You know, for real. I know you don't act all like that around your big important bosses and all that serious stuff. I already know better. There ain't no reason to be running around being litter bugs and like, not helping old ladies across the street, having decency and robbing neighbors or goofy shit like that. That's just, you're gonna feel stupid about that when you actually got to tell somebody face to face that you want their respect, and that's something you're not going to be able to get back, and that's something that'll really make you want to quit. Like, don't fall into that trap either. That's just one person out of 100 million zillion. But it makes you think about it because like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I didn't think I had a reason to be integral or whatever. That's the point of integrity. Number one. Kind of cracks me up about that. Some people don't understand what it means. Like, there's certain jobs that you have that's why you have them jobs, is because your integrity level's like max. It's not compromisable. That's how it's supposed to go, and it kind of got backwards or something. I don't know. I trust the homeless guy before I trust half of the politicians or people in public service right now, and that's because of history. And like, I try to keep an open heart, but I don't. The whole system is a binding system, like I said earlier. I do not participate in, and that's controversial. And I have been jailed for it, but I beat the case. I had to go to court and innocent. It was a big deal too. It got to be a big deal quick. They kept me the one time for a week. I didn't know if they were gonna kill me or what. I didn't know what was going on. I was totally innocent. I got kidnapped off my motorcycle and I was in a jail cell. I mean, I was not happy. It's like, you are a punk. I did until I called him a punk. I was already in jail though. Hell, screw him. You did. It was totally legal shit. I did beat it, but that's a lot of hassle and money. Nobody paid to get the impound fees. And 2 days ago, I just lost one of my oldest friends to in custody, in police custody. Now this is like the third or fourth or fifth, actually like the eighth or ninth weird thing that's happened. Like these cops are murdering people out here in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. It's one of them was my good old friend. Couldn't always hang out all the time, like maybe we did back in the day. But like your oldest friends are, and it's sometimes like them are your best friends. So it's like he understood me, and I understood him, and we respected each other's boundaries when it came to that, like spiritual differences or political differences, if you will. And we taught each other a lot, and I think that's important too. But like nobody deserves to get to just sit in a cell and quiet, crying or whining or whatever, saying that you need to go to the hospital and to die like that in America. And when you ain't got shit going on in Jasper County, Indiana, I mean, get out of here. There's no excuse for that. You put people in a cell and you have a certain responsibility for them. I'm very passionate about that because I don't even tie my dog up to a rope. You know, your dog will listen to you if you're not a piece, or if you take the time with it. And I get you got runners, but I won't. I won't bring an old runner home. I don't care. Not gonna be a good fit. Cause I'm like, screw your little dog ass. You'll come back if you get hungry. Like, I talk a big game, but like I got lucky and they always stayed on my heels. Kind of when the kids were little, it seems like they'd run. If you chase them, they're gonna run. That's how hound dogs are. As soon as you like put your middle finger up and you turn around like you're walking away and go away, and they really think you're gonna walk away, they want to be with the pack, so they'll start following you. They think they're leading their pack. A lot of people, once you realize that may be your problem if your dog's a runner. He might think he's leading the pack, and they're dumb. Dogs are, they lick their butts and stuff like. But really, try it, one time because I fixed my dog like every time that once I understood the psychology of it, it took like one or two times. You got it right away. Like the dogs want to be part of a pack. Now, not all of them do. Some hunting dogs actually get trained to tree the raccoons in separate trees. Them dogs won't pack up at all. They don't even cuddle with you. I'm like, well, that explains a lot. That's why. You trained them different than all the other ones are. Because I never had a dog like that wouldn't like even get near you. She liked her space. They kept them like that though, so they would each treat their own raccoon, and they were like fourth generation coon hunting dogs in that county. Slinky, I called her. She wasn't even my dog. She just walked to my house one day. I kept her for. That's, does that happen to everybody? That happened twice at that house. I woke up with the neighbors, the little neighbors, to like a chihuahua. Like I think it was the neighbors. I don't know. That's a whole nother story. But like they had a lot of dogs over there. It was under the covers with me. I thought it was my dog. How do you feel when you're like in the nudish the summertime? It was hot, and you got the neighbor's dog under there. I was like, she's like all shivering, looking at me. This is a fucking chihuahua. She hung out with my beagle dog, and my beagle dog would like hug her. He was always running real warm, and she was like always a cold little chihuahua. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. She stuck around about 3 months before she was back home, and they never let her out of the house after that. And she never like spit like VHS tape out of her rear end, so I figured I was okay. Hey, that's not a conspiracy theory. I got an article from a magazine from 1973 when the answering machines came out. It's right there. They had remote control cats in 1969. It's like, man, I'd like to see them rough rascals. They've no doubt because it's the briefcase with the whole big thing. Imagine a cat walking around with something that big in it. How that would have been. It would have been like, meow, meow, meow. And VHS tape would be coming out the butt. I was thinking, picturing it in my mind like a cartoon. I'm very imaginative. I'm a very visual. I'm an audio and a visual person when it comes to my imagination. I'm not a good manifester like visualizer though. Like I don't know what I want if I don't know. It's a surprise. I don't know. The enemies know where I'm going to get more than I do. You know what I mean? Like preparing the table, you take it a closer view. They think it's theirs. Now how it goes, like that's pushing it away. You shouldn't be thinking about things like that anyway. But there's certain things I see. I'm like, oh, I want one of them. Move. I don't like to feel like that though. I have expender's guilt or something, or what's that called? There's a word for it, like when you don't think you. Yeah, anyway. One of them doodah words. Doodah is a word for everything. It works no matter where you want to use it. This is my channel, so it's allowed to work that way. It's a lot better than saying some bullshit word or not saying a word right that you don't know how to use. I figure, you know what I mean? You can fill in the blanks yourself like that. That's not critiquing it. All right. Until next time, the Angel of Authenticity signing out here, reminding you to get real and to stay that way. Beep.